Well, we've got a warm-up coming our way, but it's going to be tempered with a little bit more cloudiness. Good morning. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Lestel here with your Wednesday forecast. And as we go on through our day today, it kind of really depends where you are. Especially this morning, we're tracking a little vortex and upper disturbance coming through along the North Carolina-South Carolina border, and that is giving us some clouds south and west of Highway 70. North and east of that, we're starting off with mainly clear skies. Look for a windy and warm day for tomorrow. We'll be back up to near 80 degrees. Now, keep in mind, our temperatures as we've gone through this week, Monday we were in the 50s. Yesterday we got into the mid-60s. Today we'll be in the low to mid-70s. Tomorrow we may be into the 80s. And then cool back down again as we head on into the weekend as we play the popular game of follow the front, with a front that's going to be working its way across the area as we go on through this weekend here. As a result of that, though, we'll continue to keep the Storm Track 12 threat tracker in the medium category for tomorrow. Any storms that do develop, especially in western and central North Carolina, come eastbound, could have some gusty winds associated with them. And either way, it's going to be a windy day for us here in eastern Carolina as well, with no severe weather threats for today or for Friday. Put in that little chance for a spotty shower or sprinkle south and west of Highway 70 for mid-morning hours here. Really, don't anticipate a whole lot. It's really running into some very dry air. And temperatures upper 60s and low 70s. Winds not all that strong. Scattered showers overnight tonight, very cloudy skies. Now, I think what will happen with temperatures, mainly clear skies for the evening hours, we'll see temperatures drop. So we'll probably officially have our overnight lows occur during the midnight or shortly thereafter time period, and then warm things up after that. And then as we go in through the morning hours tomorrow, we'll gradually warm the temperatures back up here, looking for temps into the 60s overnight tonight, getting into the 80s for tomorrow with scattered showers and storms that are going to be around throughout the daytime tomorrow, especially north of Highway 64. I think would be the best chance of seeing some of those storms. But again, we'll be looking at a windy, warm day with southwesterly wind gusts in excess of 15 to 25 miles an hour. All right, here's the storm system. Now, we've got a weak high pressure across Virginia. That's why the drier air is further off to the north and the east. And we're still dealing with that powerful upper level low across southeast Canada. But that is going to get pushed on out of here as we see this storm system, a weak storm system at that. But it's got a lot of warm air associated with it, especially along that warm front. And then the trailing cold front is what drops into the area as we head on through tomorrow night and just kind of hangs up through the area here. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of warm air coming out of the Central Plains. That is headed towards our neighborhood. And as a result, we're going to see it kind of run into the cooler air, and that's going to create the potential for some of those showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon hours tomorrow, with that system, as we see right now, working its way through the area. A lot of this has to do with what's going on as far as that jet stream level is concerned here. You can see the deep trough still holding its place here across the eastern Carolinas and the eastern United States. That moves out, but it's that boundary in between here. You'll notice as we go in through Friday and Saturday, we've got the cold air to the north, the warm air to the south here, but in between, we really don't have a whole lot of push. There's no real big reestablishing trough from this short wave back here. The upper level ridge remains back off to our south and west. So once that front kind of comes in here, it's just kind of languish across the area. Now the question is it across the Virginia-North Carolina border, down here across the South Carolina-North Carolina border, or somewhere in between? Depending on where it ultimately ends up depends on a wide range of temperatures that we could be facing as far as our forecast is concerned here. And then as we go in through the weekend, we'll eventually start to see that upper level ridge kind of reestablish itself over the southeast portion of the United States and the Gulf Coast states. But you'll notice cold air is still nearby here. This is what I'm talking about on Storm Track 12 Futurecast here. All that warmth off to the desert southwest that's going to eventually try to work its way in here, but as it does, it's running to the resistance. Notice Futurecast shows the cold air still in place across the Great Lakes and the northern mid-Atlantic states, with the boundary somewhere in between. The question is, where is that boundary? Notice, D.C. in the 60s, Atlanta in the 80s. So depending on where that front is, we could potentially be looking at temps in the 80s for the weekend or into the 50s and 60s, depending on where that front ultimately shows up here. Futurecast does show that cooler air kind of bleeding in, especially across the Virginia, North Carolina border counties early into the weekend, and then eventually kind of holding tight in here as we go on through the weekend. But really, we're only talking about a difference of 100 and so miles across this front, where if it's further to the north, we're in the warm sector. If it's further to the south, we are talking about temperatures in the cold sector, anywhere between about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than I'm now forecasting. This is what Storm Track 12 Futurecast looks like as we go on through the morning hours. That upper level disturbance moves on out of here. Southwesterly winds kick in. We start to see that warmer air coming in, especially again overnight tonight, where we're going to be clear first off, and then watch the showers start to move their way into the area here. You'll notice, especially north of Highway 64, as we go on through the day tomorrow, we're going to be looking at scattered showers and storms around with those gusty southwesterly winds running into that front. And then watch here where the front ultimately ends up. Thursday night, still off towards our north. As we go through the day on Friday, though, this model is bringing it at least down to, say, Kinston, New Bern, Oriental line, maybe even a little bit further south of that. And as a result, we'll see partly sunny skies, but cooler temperatures up north. Now, again, this is one forecast model. Other models are blasting it down to Myrtle Beach. Other models are holding it up around Norfolk. So it really kind of depends. That's something we're going to have to fine-tune as we go on through the next couple days here. But as of right now, I'm looking at that front kind of waving back and forth as these waves of low pressure ride along it as we head into this weekend. Does look like some scattered showers and storms definitely around tomorrow, and maybe again later on Friday as that front kind of wavers its way back to the north here. And then really Saturday and Sunday are not really etched in stone depending on where that front ultimately ends up. The timing of some troughs that are going to be coming through in the upper levels of the atmosphere here. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that as we head on into the weekend. Have yourself a good Wednesday. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.